Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Hashem Rechakwadash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, meaning He is, He exists, He to be. Ba'in Hada, Sham name, Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son, meaning He saves, He delivers, Rechakwadash, Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great most and well, peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Back at it again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. All right. Just getting straight to it through the spirit. This is something that I was meditating on. We have to learn to spiritually recalibrate. All right. We got to learn spiritually recalibrate. In other words, you know, you got to know how to ground yourself, recenter, reposition. You know what I'm saying? Get back on track, okay, spiritually speaking, you know, because there's going to be a lot of things that might tick you off or certain stumbling blocks that are set up to try your spirit, right, and get rid of you. You know what I mean? But you got to learn to shake it off. You know, you got to learn to recalibrate back to the state or the mode or the frequency where you operate at your best potential in the spirit. Okay, and you know, you got to have basically that mindset of next play. Okay, that next play mentality. You know what I mean? You got to keep your eye focused on mission and don't regard, you know, whatever you may have gone through or whatnot. At the end of the day, your mind should be focused on, okay, what's next? All right, yeah, that situation happened. Yeah, that may have been a stumbling block. Yeah, I could have handled myself better, or yeah, I could have shaken it off and let it go and not dwell on that certain thing. Like Scripture said, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Right? Sometimes you have to learn to let things go. Okay, because it can hinder your potential in the spirit. This is Philippians 3:13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Okay? So ultimately, we are to forget those things which are behind us, man. You have to have that next play mentality. Forget the things which may have hindered your spirit, the things you may have done of old with the old man and the old way. You know, you got to forget those things and have your mind focus, your eyes on the prize, which is the kingdom of heaven, salvation, pleasing Yahweh Shai, fearing the Lord, being a good brother, walking uprightly, walking in righteousness. Okay, that's what our mind needs to be focused upon. All right, and anything else that may get in the way, you got to learn to just let that show. Forget it. Next play, that next play mentality. All right. And if you're wondering what next play means, right? So I searched this up on Google, and it's the AI overview. I typed in, what does on to the next play mean? And it says, on to the next play means to move past current situation, whether it be a positive or negative. And that's another thing too, right? I forgot to add that part. So that's the spirit, because you also have to have that next play mentality even with positive events. Because you could do something good, or you could have a great moment in the spirit and have something positive flow going for you, right? But if you get too caught up in the right now and too busy trying to rejoice in the present moment, you know, you may be stuck the future to come. Like the scriptures say, when you're up high, remember poverty and need, right? When you're down low, remember to rejoice. Right? That's in Sirach, the 11th chapter. I roughly paraphrased it, but let me read it exactly to make the point drive home. Sirach, Ecclesiastes 11 and 24. Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things, and what evil shall I have hereafter? Right? So you're living in the present of the positivity. You're not having that next play mindset because you're too busy focused on everything's good right now, everything's sweet right now, right? But it can turn bad in the next moment. So you got to stay vigilant. You got to stay ready. Okay? And it says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remember prosperity. Right? So, just like how, when you're up, you don't think about the times you were down. And when you're down, you don't think about the times you're up. That's why you have to stay balanced and always have that next play mentality where you're like, hey, what's next? Yeah, we may have had a triumphing moment in the spirit, and it's okay to rejoice in that. But don't get stuck in that moment. And a perfect analogy that helped me with this, bring it to life, so to speak, even though it already does the job. But just a further analogy to add to the edification. In boxing or in martial arts as a whole, I'm sure, but I'm going to speak about boxing in particular, right? In boxing, I remember one of my boxing coaches, he told me, he was like, one thing that you do good is that you don't just sit there and admire the punch, okay? Which basically means after you get your licks off on a dude, right? Come with a couple pieces. You don't just stand there and be like, ooh, I got him. Nah, you either keep your head moving, you hit your combos and then you sell, or whatever the case may be, you pivot out, right? Or, you do something else. You don't just stand there and be like, ooh, I hit him. And then you just sit there like, damn, that was a good shot. Because at the end of the day, even though you may have got a clean shot on him, he can get a clean shot right back on you. Okay, that's why you got to stay active, man. All right, gotta have that next play mentality of, okay, fight's still going on. Let me not, try to rejoice right now. Let me make sure to finish first, man. That's having a next play mentality. Just like Judas Maccabees said to his soldiers. He said, hey, don't greedily come upon the spoils, seeing there's still a battle before us. Gorgias and his men are still here, but he said, fight against your enemies, then you may boldly come upon. So, hey, you got to have that next play mentality. You can't just sit there and be complacent and just think, oh, okay, I did something good. I can stop now. Nah, man. All right. It's a continuation of a pattern of good works. Okay. And vice versa. Even if something bad may happen to you. Hey, you don't just stop at that. You don't just get weak and give up the fight. Nah, you keep on fighting, man. All right. Re-get momentum. And I remember this one time we was playing basketball. And one of the brothers, he was playing ball, and this chick, I don't remember what exactly she did to the brother, but I think she might have crossed him up, or did it like a step back and like shot the ball in front of him, like it jaded in his face, right? But very next play, when she got the ball back, the brother came and stuffed that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you had to be there to really appreciate the moment. But the brother who did it, he know what I'm talking about. Because that moment was heavy. Because the thing about it is that it's not because of the fact that, because somebody might say, oh, that was a girl, da-da-da-da-da. But it was just the fact that she was about it. She got proud because she may have had made a good play. And she got complacent. So she got proud, and then the Lord humbled her very next play. Brother came back, stuffed that shit. And then she got humbled just like that. As quick as she came up was as quick as she went, because of the fact that she got lifted up with pride and got complacent because of the one good thing that she did. You know what I'm saying? And now it was just a little friendly game of basketball, so it ain't like, but it's just the moral of the story is that don't get complacent in this thing. You got to have that next play mentality and learn to spiritually recalibrate and recenter yourself, because sometimes you be too excited and make a bad decision because you're too excited. And sometimes you can be too low and too far down and depressed and sulking. You don't make any action at all because you're being weak-minded and you don't want to do anything, man. You just want to sit there and be sorrowful, man. But you got to learn the spirit recalibrate. Okay? Let me get this scripture real quick, though. Slovakia. Ecclesiasticus 18:25. When thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger. And when thou art rich, think upon poverty and need. right? So stay balanced, man. Don't ever get too high up. Don't ever get too low down, because, hey, you got to learn how to spiritually recalibrate and stay on point, because you could be too low and forget what it was like to be up high, and you could be too high and forget what it was like to be up low. It's unbalanced. Okay, you got to stay even keeled. You know, a samurai was known for basically staying sharp at all times, whether they win in the battle or losing the battle. They staying sharp and they staying focused. Okay, like it says in the book of Philippians 4:11, not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Mashiach, which strengthens me. Right. So you got to know both. You got to know both sides of the spectrum, man. Okay, but I'm going to go back to what does on to the next play mean by the AI overview on Google. It says on to the next play means to move past the current situation, whether it be a positive or negative event, and focus entirely on the next opportunity or action that needs to be taken. Essentially, not dwelling on the past and looking forward to what's coming next, often used in sports to emphasize the importance of immediate focus on play in the game. Okay? And it says key points about on to the next play. It says go of mistakes, mental focus, adaptability. All right? And it says letting go of mistakes. This phrase encourages athletes or anyone in a high pressure situation to not let past errors or successes affect their current performance. Right? Just like in a boxing match, right? You might have a boxer who is getting his ass kicked in the beginning half match. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked down a couple times or whatnot. And if you don't have a winning mentality, that might discourage you. But winner, that's going to encourage you to go harder. And the next thing you know, what happens? Since that boxer endured, okay, he ended up staying in the match and knocking the dude out and winning the fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not speaking on anybody particular. I'm just giving a scenario. That's having that letting go of mistakes. That's having that next play mentality, man. Okay? It says mental focus. It emphasizes the need to stay mentally present and focus on the immediate task at hand. And that's the thing. I've been really, really trying to practice this past week. You know, I've really been trying to make an effort to do this, to just stay focused, man. Have laser-like focus on the mission. Stay on point, okay? Stay on point and always be, like, prudent. Always be ready for the next step because, hey, in the times we're coming into, man, we have no time to be physical, be complacent, to play around and not be locked in because, and even right now, we have no time to not be locked in because, hey, the enemy is out here, man. And he's as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And what happens often in the wild, the animals that get eaten are the ones who are lacking while they were sipping water or grazing on field or whatnot. It's the animals that be having a head on a swivel that know, oh shit, the lion coming. Let me take off and run, you know, or whatnot, you know, or fight back. Shit, you know, but in order for you to get a chance against that lion, you got to see his ass coming, man. You know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, it's all of the Lord anyway. So, you know, even if you didn't see him come, you can still overcome him because Abba Shemashai is the one who delivers. Okay. Anyways, y'all get the point. All right. It says adaptability. By moving on to the next play, individuals can quickly adjust to changing situations and respond effectively. All right. That's it, man. You know, so we got to learn to have that next play mentality. All right. And how do you have that next play mentality? Let's put it into operations, right? Process. So I would say step one, examine yourself. You have to have self-examination at the forefront of your spirit at all times and everything you do. I'm talking about even down to the way you breathe, okay? Down to the way you interact with people. Everything you do, constantly examine yourself, man. Constantly examine yourself, man, in everything you do, all right? Acknowledge what's going on within and without. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what's going on inside your mind, inside your spirit, inside your body. And you got to know what's going on, external factors, the environment around you, the people around you, the circumstances, so on and so forth. Self-examine, man. All right. The next step, I would say step 2 is to pray. Pray to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai to give you the wisdom, give you the strength to overcome the situation or the circumstances you're in. Okay? Put it on the Lord's hands, so to speak, man. Because certain circumstances are big. I know a lot of circumstances are bigger than us, man. But the fact that we leave it in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, there's nothing too hard for him. All right? Philippians 4:6, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. That's right, man. So we don't got to be anxious for nothing. We don't worry about nothing. All we got to do is pray, man. All right? That's all we got to do is pray. And no matter what type of situation you find yourself in, no matter how overwhelming it may seem, pray to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. That shows the Lord that you actually are wanting to make an effort, all right, to do right. Okay? Psalms 55:22. Cast thy burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right. Cast our burdens upon the Lord, man. 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Yeah, the Lord, he wants you to cast your burdens on him. He wants you to rely on him and trust on him, man. Leave it on the Lord. Now, first, don't just be negligent to do your part, right? You got to do your part as well. Whatever that may be, you fill in the blanks. But for the most part, the things that you can't handle, leave it in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. The things that you can, make sure that you handle it. Okay? And pray to the Lord to give you the spirit to handle it. All right? And then the third process, I would say, is to execute. All right? If you know what the scriptures tell you to do, if you know how the spirit is telling you to move, simply do it. Just execute. Fuck your flesh, man. Your flesh is going to tell you everything other than what the spirit is telling you. Your flesh is going to try to scare you. Your flesh is going to try to make you doubt. Your flesh is going to try to convince you not to go about a certain thing. But if you know in the spirit what you're supposed to do, do it. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, because sometimes I suffer from this shit, man. And I get annoyed because I'm like, man, goddamn, man. Like, Jake be knowing what the fuck to just don't do it. And this shit gets annoying. But, hey, you know, it's all a part of the bigger movie in the bigger picture of Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. But at the end of the day, I'm speaking from personal experience. Just execute. Fuck your flesh, man. Fuck the consequences your flesh tries to make you think you're going to go through because you trusted in the Lord. You see how that doesn't even sound like it makes sense? Because it fucking doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Execute, man. All right? And make your best effort to put the scriptures into action. Right? Let's say you're in a certain situation and the precepts start coming in your spirit and the Lord is telling you how to go about it. Make your best effort to execute that. All right? And when you apply the scriptures, it's going to put you in the spirit by default. Because that's not the scriptures, Psalm 16:63, how the scriptures, the words of the scriptures are spirit and our life, right? So it's going to prevent you from making rash, carnal, and bad decisions. Therefore, you're blameless, okay? Because you actually executed the scriptures. You actually did what the Lord told you to do. To obey is better than to sacrifice, man, okay? So now I got this article right here, and I'm going to breeze through it, and then I'm going to wrap up if the Lord allows. So the article says, Hammer it home. It's from hammersacademy.com. The title of the article is Hammer it Home, Next Play Mentality, July 16th, 2024. Hammer it home from a coach's perspective. It says, want to take your game up a level and become a more well-rounded player? Well, you might be surprised to find that the answer lies between your ears and not between the lines. There are several physical skills developed while growing as a player. All of the technical qualities like dribbling, passing, and shooting are introduced at younger levels and are cultivated with countless hours in backyards and on practice fields. So there's no doubt honing these skills make for a talented player, but the physical side to the game only accounts for one part of what you'll need to succeed. Right. And in a spiritual sense, you can look at it as, you know, your countless hours of practice in the backyard and the field, you watching the lessons, you getting into the breakdowns, you studying the scriptures, you know, learning the Hebrew, doing things of that nature. Right. And it said other part you'll need is mental and emotional stability. Having these allow you to operate in a mindset of making the next best play. And this is something that every player can improve on. Learning how to stay even-keeled in the face of struggles and triumphs foster a next play mentality that will take you much further than dwelling on past outcomes which hinder present and future actions. The next part of the article says, building the mindset. Take it from the pros. The game is 90% mental and 10% physical. The world's top athletes practice strengthening their minds as well as their bodies. And that's absolutely true. Same thing in the truth. 90% mental, 10% physical, right? What will be that 10% physical part? You doing your lessons, you watching lessons, you studying, you learning to break, going out to camp, right? Being charitable. But the other 90% comes from how you behave yourself. Do you fear the Lord? Are you brotherly? Are you in order? You know what I'm saying? Are you behaving yourself wisely? You know what I mean? Because that's a big part of who you really are. And I said this in my lesson last night through the Spirit. The man you are off the camera matters more than the man you are on the camera. On the camera and what you do as far as the work is concerned is that percent. But how you carry yourself is that 90%, right? And it says, acknowledging the connection between the two, the mental side of the game is essential for achieving elite performance and can be, and it's not the scriptures say that he who fears Yahweh Bashim Shai. Let me get it. All right. Let me get it, man. Ecclesiastes or Sirach 19 and 24. He that hath small understanding and feareth Bashim Shai is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. So it's better to have that 90%, right, and fear Yahweh Bashim Shai and execute the qualities of what a true man of the Lord is supposed to hold up of, than have that 10% and be sharp in the scriptures and watch a bunch of lessons. So that's the point on that right there. Okay. And shalom to the elect tuning in. All right. And it says, okay, let's get it. It says building the mindset. It says the world's top athletes strengthening their minds as well as their bodies, acknowledging the connection between the two. The mental side of the game is essential for achieving elite performance and can be just as challenging, if not more, than the physical side. Mental toughness, which is a combination of confidence, resilience, self-discipline, is a critical factor in a player's success, and building it involves developing several key mental attributes and skills. And the scriptures teach us mental toughness. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 7 says how a part of the 4 pillars of being a just man, a righteous man, is what? Temperance, justice, fortitude. Fortitude is mental toughness. Your mind is as a fortress. It's hard to be penetrated, all right, by, different adversities and demons, okay? And it says prudence. Those are the 4 pillars of being a righteous man. Justice, fortitude, temperance, prudence. Okay. And it says that's wisdom on 8 and 7. So fortitude is that mental toughness. We need to have that in this, man. Endure hardness is a good soldier, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Okay. Visualization. Number 1. These are a part of the several key mental attributes and skills according to the article. Number 1, visualization. It says imagine yourself making precise passes, scoring goals, and executing skills and strategies flawlessly, right? And this is talking about in an athletic sense, but you could do that in the truth, right? You can meditate upon good things. You can meditate upon wisdom in the scriptures and how to be a better man of the Lord, how to be a better brother, how to be a better sister, so on and so forth. Okay. Goal setting. Setting both short-term and long-term goals as a player helps provide direction and motivation on and off field, right? And you could do this in the spirit. You could set goals. Okay, today I want to do 2 lessons. Or every week I want to make sure that I read, 7 chapters, you know what I'm saying? Or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? You figure that out for your own spirit, okay? And what's profitable for you. And it's true, goal setting does give you direction, because sometimes you might sit there and be idle to a certain degree because you don't know what to do yourself. But if you make a goal for yourself, even if you might not accomplish all those goals, it'll at least give you some form of direction to just not just sit there and be inactive, all right? Number 3, positive self-talk. The way you speak to yourself significantly impacts your mindset. Be your biggest cheerleader. And that's absolutely true. There was even a study saying how people who work out, the ones who was having positive self-talk had like an increase in their strength and in their ability to do the exercise in comparison to the ones who did not, right? And that shows you the power of the tongue. Like in the power of the tongue is both life and death. So you can either speak life upon yourself or you can speak death upon yourself, man. Okay. So you want to have positive self-talk. Philippians 4 and 8 tells you the things that you should meditate upon, which is important. Our brains, our subconscious mind, all it does is mirror what you think about or what you process. So if you process negativity, your subconscious mind is going to show you that right back. Subconscious, and vice versa. You process positivity, your subconscious mind is going to bring that out, man. But you got to make sure that it all starts with your mind, your spirit, first and foremost. Okay. Number 4, mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness involves staying and fully engaged in the moment. Absolutely. Plain as said. Okay. Which goes back to self-examination. Number 5, adopting a growth mindset. Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles. And that's something the brother Yawanathan and I say to each other a lot. Hey, look at adversity as an opportunity to be great. Okay? Not as a moment to shrivel down and get weak. You know? Look at adversity as an opportunity to show forth your faith in Yahweh Bashmal Shah. When you're going through hard times, you need to really be like, hey, Lord, the water for putting me through this situation, because now I can prove my faith to you and I can get better through this. Okay? That's a part of having a winner mentality, man. All right? And even when you get rebuked or you get corrected on certain things, don't get weak. Don't be faint. Oh, man, brother always, hey, you know what I'm saying? You teaching me how to get right back on the right track. Shit. Why be offended at that? Scripture say he that have knowledge will not grudge when he is reproved. If you get mad at a brother for rebuking you, you ain't fucking right. You know what I'm saying? And you need to stop being emotional. Okay? Verse 6. Number 6, accepting anxiety and jitters as normal. It says, recognize that feeling nervous before a game is natural and can even enhance performance. Exactly. The flesh is going to do what the flesh is going to do. Sometimes your flesh gets overwhelmed. You might feel anxious. You might feel nervous. You might feel even scared. But at the end of the day, like Cus D'Amato said, there's a quote by Cus D'Amato, Mike Tyson's former trainer. Mike Tyson's former trainer. He said, hero and the coward are both the same. He said, what makes the hero different from the coward is what the hero does other than the coward. He said, both the hero and the coward both feel fear, but he said the hero actually has courage to overcome his fear and do what he needs to do. He said the coward, he lets fear overtake him and he does nothing. You get what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is with accepting anxiety and jitters as normal. Hey, your body's going to react to certain things. It's just like sometimes you may get afraid of something. Something might startle you, right? You might hear a loud bang, or somebody might walk up from you behind and grab you and, you know, play a prank on you and shoot. And you know who the person is, so you don't have to fear for your life, but your body might still feel that anxiety. Your body might still feel that tension. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the body's going to do what it's going to do. And a lot of times that's just a natural response to different things, right? To learn mind over matter, okay? And learn that regardless of how you feel, the job needs to be done, all right? Number 7, it says getting your first touch on the ball quickly. It says engaging with the ball early in the game helps settle nerves and establishes a connection within the match. Ultimately, be active. Be active, man. Okay? Move. Do action. Don't just sit there and allow your thoughts to get the best of you. Move, man. All right? Number 8, controlling the controllable. Concentrate on the aspects of the game that you can control, such as the shots you take, passes you make, positioning, and effort. Avoid getting distracted by external factors like the weather, opposing players, or referees, which are all beyond your control. Going back to what we said earlier through the spirit, do your part, and everything else, leave it in the hand of Bashmal Shai. What you can control it. Okay? We said that earlier through the spirit, and I didn't even know that the article said that. You know what I mean? Or at least I didn't remember. Anyways, the next part of the article, it says solidifying next play mentality. It says adopt a mindset where you can quickly move on from setbacks and triumphs and focus on the next opportunity at hand. The game is so fast-paced and constantly changing, so dwelling on errors or successes can hinder your performance by taking out of the present moment. Learn from each play quickly and be ready for the next one. If you come up short, learn from it, let it go, and do your best the next time. If you succeed, be grateful and continue seeking ways to further improve. Staying in the neutral zone, being neither too high nor too low, helps you remain focused, adaptable, and consistent. By integrating these mental training skills and strategies, you can start to build a strong foundational mindset that supports your physical abilities and leads to greater success on and off the field. So that's all in all the article right there. And that's the type of mindset we need to apply in this truth, man. Learn to spiritually recalibrate. No matter what situation you go through, learn to recenter yourself and lock right back in and focus on the task at hand, which is serving Yahweh Bashmel. All right? And, you know, just like the elder apostle Ramlab said, you're only as good as your last work, right? Yeah, you may have did a lesson yesterday, but did you do one today? Yeah, you may have read, but did you read today? Yeah, you may have prayed yesterday, but did you pray today? Okay? It's all about daily putting forth the effort to daily fight for your salvation, man. Okay? You could have had a fire-ass week in the spirit last week. You was on point. You had precepts. You know what I'm saying? You was spirit, right? Lord was blessing you. And then next week, the Lord could put some hell on you. Are you going to keep moving forward with that righteous zeal, that fervency in serving Yahweh Shem Shai, or are you going to get weak and blame it on because you had a hard week, man? And I know shit happens, so I'm not saying that every week is going to be a great week. I understand. Shit does happen. But at the end of the day, we have to learn to fight, okay? Fight and stay consistent with, you know, doing the right thing, man. Keeping a pattern of good works, as the scriptures say, you know? All right? Or at least praying to Yahweh Shem Shai to give us the spirit to do so, because we know at the end of the day, the only one controlling everything going down is the Lord. So we only can move however he puts it in our spirit to move. That's why we need to trust in him at all times. Okay? Point on that right there. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great Muslim, never well, peace to the elect in the nation of Israel. Shalom, Abba, Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom to the elect tuning in.